Today we're going to talk about MOD settings. MOD settings are a bit different compared to other software, and there were parts that were a bit tricky for my brain to grasp. So I'm going to talk about how I personally use the settings. First, let's look at where the settings files are located. Please open the user folder from the system menu bar. You'll see a folder called Yuxology. Inside there's a folder called mod16.1 CFG, which contains all the settings files. And one level below that, there's a folder called mod16.1 CFG back. This is where the settings file from the previous launch is saved. So if you accidentally used the wrong settings and exited MOD, or carelessly saved with incorrect settings, you can delete the current mod16.1 CFG file, remove the back part from mod16.1 CFG back, and make it the CFG file. This will make MOD start up with the previous settings. Next, in the Yuxology folder, there should be a folder called configs. This folder is initially empty. User exported settings files will be stored in this configs folder. So let's try exporting some settings. Go to File, Export Settings in the menu bar, and the configs folder from earlier will open. For now, just click Save with the name Untitled. The settings export panel will open. There's a drop-down menu called Output, which is set to All. When opened, you can save layouts, forms, and other elements individually. Now let's discuss reading and writing slightly different MOD config files using a diagram, the previous MOD1, 6.11. The CFG folder contains various configuration files. By exporting, you can write specified settings to the configs folder. As the name suggests, it exports. So the original MOD1, 6.11.1, files will disappear from the CFG folder. Settings exported to the configs folder are automatically read by all MOD versions. It's a very useful feature, but it can be tough on the brain. There's talk about how the brain handles 3D software, but let's set that aside for common app settings. If there's a MOD1, 6.11, CFG folder, exports would likely be saved separately. This becomes an independent file. Other versions will reflect changes only after reading the new config file. This is typical for reading and writing app configuration files. For personal use, this config file system is quite understandable. However, MOD config file reading and writing doesn't work this way. So, how do I use MODs? Well, I don't use the export feature at all. I created a settings folder in Luxology with my name, containing mod16. 1.cfg1. I copy the CFG folder, adding dates to manage different versions. I change file sorting to update date. To restore a saved setting, first delete the current mod16, 1.cfg1, then move the old CFG back to Luxology, rename it, and load it. That's how Nokia handles config file read-write. It's fun to explore other settings and make discoveries, though it might not always be practical. That's all. Thank you very much.